So some of these numbers in this video may shock you a little bit, but that's no bad thing. So the question is, do shafts actually change spin much? Or is that just a bit of a myth that someone kind of maybe wants you to believe? And if shafts don't change spin that much, then what really is the important factor? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. Okay, so welcome back to Elite Performance Golf Studios, and we're jumping right into it. And today we're going to be playing out a bit of a scenario-based test. So I'm sure loads of people would have done this. Let's say you've gone out and you bought yourself a new driver, or let's say you've gone on eBay, right? And you fancy the Stealth. Their price is maybe a bit lower at the minute because the new one's coming out soon. Fancy the Stealth, so you've gone on and you found yourself a Stealth 10.5 degree because 10.5 is what you've always played, that's what's right for you, maybe a little bit more loft to give you a bit more forgiveness. Whatever the case may be, you've got a Stealth 10.5, right? And you managed to pick it up a little bit cheaper because it's got a lightweight Senior Flex shaft in it. So in this example, we're using an Acura FX 140 M2. So the FX line's got three launch and spin profiles within it, or three profiles within it. The 1 series or the 100 series is the highest launch, highest spin series. So softest tip. This is a 40 gram essentially, maybe a bit over, but very lightweight M2 Senior Flex. So super light, super soft, Senior Flex. But you got it for a bargain and you got your new driver now. So let's see what some numbers say. Yeah, it's exciting times. Getting a new driver, getting it in the bag. Excited to get out on the course and all this extra yardage you're going to be gaining from the new tech or something like that. All right, let's see what it can do. That felt really good. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, not going to grumble at that at all. Yes, I mean, that's a pretty good strike, pretty much right out of the middle, nice little fade back to target line, not going to grumble at that at all, love that shot. If we start diving into the numbers though, spin up at 2800, so that's definitely a little bit on the high side, higher than I would like, peak height 135 feet, and a descent angle of 46, that is very high, too much backspin. So now what we're going to do? Well, we've got a new driver, spinning too much really. We need to get that spin down, get the height down. Let's go get a low launch, low spin shaft. Okay, so we've done our research, we're back on eBay and we've managed to find a very heavy, stiff shaft. Ventus Black TR7X. You might have been talking to a local pro or a friend who said you've obviously got a lot of speed, you need something heavy, stiff profile, stiff tip. I mean, this is pretty much the exact opposite of what we just had. It's going to bring down that fly, right? Let's see. Oh, there we go. That one was nice. That's really nice. Felt solid. Probably a similar carry, actually, I would say. Can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head. Oh, no, it was only 2 shots ago. Anyway, this is strike again, pretty centered. Launch back down to where we were, kind of around 13, but spinning out almost at 3,000. You saw the strike, I mean, it was a couple of mil away. I mean, it was a couple of mil lower, which is enough to change numbers, to be fair. However, again, ball speed's back up where it was. If anything, it's a slight draw. Again, we're still at 130 plus feet. Still at 46% angle. That's it's really not changed absolutely anything, has it? Right, so now you're a little bit upset, really. You bought this new driver, soft shaft was going too high. Someone said you need a stiffer shaft in that. That'll help. Now you've gone out, you spent more money on a stiffer shaft, and you're still seeing really the same kind of results. And it's a bit upsetting. Spent a bit of money, feel like you wasted a bit of money. And now you come and see me, and I go, have a little hit with this TSR3 at 8 degrees. You go, 8 degrees? Nah, I can't play an 8 degree driver. No. let's have a look. Also, we're back in the Acra shaft as well, so the super light, soft, high launch, high spinning shaft that we love so much. That was high toe. Much better ball flight though. It's not a particularly great strike, if I'm honest. Yeah, a little bit high toe. But similar speed, not quite as good a strike, so we lost a bit of ball speed on there, but spin drops a little bit too low, sub 2000, but it was a high toe strike. So again, that is a very, very important part of actually this video. To be fair, when we're talking about shafts, that is one of the main things, and I'll kind of touch on that a little bit more in the summary. But I'm always going to expect a drop in spin if you hit it high toe, like always. But that's actually not a bad ball flight. We've only finished that kind of 14 yards right target, absolutely fine. Peak height's now at 107, descent 39, much better, like that. And yeah, much more carry too. That was not great. Again. I mean, I'm going to take it 348 yards on the green. We're going to take it. It's high on the face. I'll show you a good one in a minute. High on the face again. Always going to drop the spin a little bit, so we see that come down to what, 1750. So I'm not necessarily saying that this would be the perfect fit for me, but it's just kind of giving you an example of what really does actually make a big difference to numbers. Straight away we can see as soon as we change the head, the numbers have just rocketed. Regardless of this, we've still got the same shaft in this. This is still a super lightweight, high launch, high spin shaft, and all of a sudden the spin rate's actually way too low. So now we've almost got the reverse problem, but it's more me, I'm not striking it well. But I'll show you a good one in a second. I don't think I could hit any straighter than that. Maybe a little bit, but nice. Again, really good strike. So you see the launch actually pretty similar, 13.6. Now the spin down, was that 2200, 2270? Much better window, obviously. And like I said, still using the Acra FX 140 M2, which really does not feel like a senior flex shaft at all. Actually feels really good. But still the really light, soft, high launch, high spin shaft, but with the TSR3 8-degree head. You can see there, super neutral delivery, super neutral face, super neutral shot. Strike was 5 millimeters away from dead center. Launch good, spin good. Still a tiny bit on the high side for me, but the reality is I'd probably just hit up a little bit too much on the ball, which is where we get that height from, and the speed, of course. But, you know, 13.6 launch, 22 backspin, just over 300 carry. Much better. Right, so there you go. I mean, you've kind of gone and bought your stealth 10.5, soft shaft, spinning too much. You've gone and bought your extra stiff shaft to bring down that spin, realized it's not really doing that. You've come and seen me. I've given you a lower spin head design at a much lower loft, and now the kind of launch and spin are pretty much ideal. Very frustrating scenario. So again, obviously, just moral of the story is make sure you get fit properly. Like, even if you can't afford a new club, fine. Like, come and see me. We can fit you, and I can say, this is what you want to buy, right? Not a problem with that at all. At least you're getting the right thing for you. There's a few variables to touch on now, which we'll go through quickly. Number one, obviously, yes, the stealth is adjustable. Yes, it's a 10.5 head. Yes, it can be turned down to 8.5, which will make a difference to the launch and spin. Granted, just bear in mind, especially with tailor-made drivers, when you crank that all the way to lower, it sits the face 4 degrees open. So if you're someone who's got a right miss, not going to be good. You're always better doing the opposite, buying a really low loft and actually turning it up a little bit to close the face. And again, if you play a fade, sometimes even cranking that loft down won't make as much difference as you think. Again, because it's a more open face. So if that face sitting open makes you deliver it a little bit more open, that adds loft, which in turn will increase launch and spin. So there's a few things to be careful about. Yes, they are adjustable. sometimes it's not the best thing to do. Just bear that in mind. Second thing I kind of touched on very briefly is strike. Now within shafts, you can see I've done videos before. There's loads of other people that have done videos that show they don't really change launch and spin much based on strike. Strike does change launch and spin massively, like hugely, right? So it's something to bear in mind if you are being fit. If there's a combo that all of a sudden drops the spin by like 1,000, or there's a shaft that drops the spin by like 1,000, it's not going to be the shaft. It's going to be where you're hitting it on the face. Now that's really for you to determine, is that a consistent pattern? Because that's one thing that shafts can do, is they can kind of change strike location a little bit, but just make sure it's consistent, because if it's not, it could just be, you only hit 3 swings, it could just be those 3 swings. You hit it high on the face, you hit it high toe, which is going to obviously drag the spin down a lot. You know, another one you could have hit low heel, which is going to massively increase the spin, all those kind of things. And yes, it can do that, but like I said, if you're only hitting a few shots with it, it also could just be those few swings. So make sure, if you do have that miracle with a few shots, maybe go back and ask to retest later. Because a lot of us, mid to higher handicaps, the strike pattern is going to be sporadic. You might go back and hit that combo and it'd be all over the place. Moved it low heel, you know, could have been a different swing thought. So many variables going on. So if you're going to shell out the cash, make sure it's for the right reasons. Make sure there is a pattern to what you're seeing. To be brutally honest, a lot of kind of mid to high handicaps, I don't generally fit into aftermarket shafts. I don't generally see any benefit. I don't generally see any gains, anything like that. Not saying that they're not a better product, I believe they are, but for some people, the inconsistencies just outweigh the fact it's a better product. So a stock shaft is generally more than adequate for a lot of those golfers. So yeah, I think that's kind of about it really, you know, get fit. It's the moral of the story. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you took something from it. Take this knowledge into a fitting if you're going to do that, hopefully. Please subscribe, stay tuned. New kit season. All the new heads coming within the next kind of week. Going to be doing initial tests, new versus old tests, head-to-heads, TSR, Stealth 2, Paradigm, Aerojet, all against each other, in depth, on quad. So yeah, please do subscribe, stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.